Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Santucci here with the FITAID Morning Show. Holy moly. The FITAID Morning Show is back here at the 2017 CrossFit Games. I'm your host, Kenny Santucci, and I have a very special guest here, Mr. Andy Hurley. Some of you guys know him because he's a misfit, and the misfits are here running the show at the CrossFit Games. But some of you might know him from Fall Out Boy, the drummer for Fall Out Boy, right here at the CrossFit Games.
Yep.
How'd you get into CrossFit?
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones.
Is kind of
love following that.
Outside of the CrossFit world.
Yeah.
But kind of coming back.
Yeah.
That's how I got into like functional fitness stuff. And then through that, like Tommy Hackenbrook would be at Jim Jones all the time.
Okay.
So at some point on tour.
Were you at Bobby Maximus Gym?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
At some
Guy's
point
an animal.
on tour, he was my coach for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, still one of my best friends, and still, I still do a lot of Maximus stuff also in addition. But at some point on tour, doing functional fitness stuff at Global Gyms just got to be, such a pain in the ass that I decided to drop in. At CrossFit Hollywood was the first place I went.
Okay.
And I remember looking at the whiteboard and being like, this looks easy. Like I do, pretty big volume, and I could do this, and it just smashed me. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it smashed me, and that was it. And then the community of it.
Yeah.
The first time I went in, like cheering for the last athlete and the whole thing. It reminded me of like punk and hardcore.
So how'd you find the Misfits? And I think you might have gravitated towards them, because when I first saw their branding, I'm like, oh my God, these guys are so metal. What is with this group?
Totally
and Sharp
like
in the axe, I loved it.
Rock.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing Misfit stuff, at different regionals maybe 3 years ago, and being like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
And checking them out. And I was kind of like program hopping for a while.
Yeah.
And I finally started doing their stuff more than anything else. And their programming's really fun, and it's really inclusive. Like it includes everything, but keeps it fun, and it's not so scientific that like you're just bored out of your mind with the science behind it, but it's still scientific.
So on the parallels of like CrossFit and writing an album, it's a grind. You got a new album coming out pretty soon.
Yep.
Right? You guys have stood the test of time for a while as well. There's a lot of brands that come out and they have one or two good records and fall at the wayside. What do you attribute your longevity to?
I think it's just continuing to push ourselves and not settle into a comfortable like groove, but kind of try to, be adventurers and explore undiscovered country, at least for us musically, and keep it. I mean, the biggest thing is keeping it fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Staying friends, which can be really difficult as you go on. You got to learn to deal with each other and stuff.
We got a lot of egos involved. Yeah. For sure.
But it's like you just keep it fun and you keep it interesting and you keep pushing. Like we can't write the same record, even though people say they want that.
Yeah.
When you do that, they aren't happy with that. So you got to do what makes you happy, and you got to do what is uncomfortable.
How have you guys evolved with so many different generations that you guys have been dealing with?
I don't know. I mean, I think you have to keep your pulse on where pop culture and where music is always, but you also have to kind of have like a punk. I think it's good that we came from punk, because there's a part of you just doesn't care what's happening, and you do the thing that you want to do. So it's kind of balancing that, like not staying in a genre or a time period that will be forgotten and relegated to the annals of history, but able to kind of move with the times, but still be doing your own thing, your own version of what's happening.
Well, and that brings me to the next question. Do you ever find yourself going down a road and you guys are starting to create music and you're like, nah, this just isn't us? Do you ever feel like you start to explore avenues that you're like, nah, this doesn't really work for us?
Maybe a little bit. I think Folie à Deux is probably our critically least acclaimed record, or like mainstream. It was the worst record for us. But maybe that wasn't us. But it's, I don't think it matters. You kind of do. It's like in CrossFit, or like Fraser. You do bad at something and then you bounce back and do better, and you can't think about that.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I don't know. That's hard to say. And I think also we did a record with Ryan Adams, like a throwback punk record.
Okay.
When we came back off of hiatus, and that was an interesting way. It wasn't like a big push record. It was kind of just for fun, and we threw it out, and whatever happened happened. And that's a way we can keep it interesting. The cool thing about music now with Spotify and YouTube and streaming culture, like you can just do more often, and it's so much easier to put out into the world.
So top 3, and we'll finish with this, top 3 influences for you in the CrossFit world, and top 3 influences in the music world.
In the CrossFit world, definitely Misfit.
Yeah.
Because I owe a lot to them. Great dudes.
They're changing the game.
They're changing the game. They have so many athletes in this year, and so many who are at regionals, and they're just great people. And well, I guess first is Coach Glassman, because he created this thing that's changed my life.
I mean, he's changed everybody's life here. So it's
yeah, look at it. This is all because of him. And I think that's amazing. And especially, coming into CrossFit 4.5 years ago, like having this life-changing thing so late in my life, I guess, I'm 37, is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's like a second chance of life. Yeah.
So Coach Glassman, Misfit, and then I guess Fraser, because
it's
just
impressive.
watching him dominate the way he does. We were saying before we started, like, it's kind of, he's going to win.
Yeah.
But I think it's really cool
like
to watch, because it's cool to see him like dominate at the strongman, but also dominate at running and swimming and
the
cycling
biking. It's
and,
like
and
unbelievable.
everything.
It's like nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like if we shot at him, bullets would bounce off him. Yeah, it's impressive.
He would figure out how to be bulletproof. And then music, Metallica's my favorite band of all time. They're the band that made me want to play music.
Yeah.
Earth Crisis is a hardcore band that the reason that I'm vegan straight edge and into a lot of the things. And then Rage Against the Machine, for political reasons, a reason I'm into a lot of things I'm into.
I wasn't a huge Rage fan years ago, but I just recently got into like a lot of their stuff.
Amazing.
So
we just did Seth Meyer and Seth late night show, and Seth Meyer always has, because of one of their producers who is like into music, he gets like drummers to do week-long stints on the show.
Yeah.
And when we just did it, Brad Wilk, the drummer of Rage Against the Machine,
and
there. Now Prophets of Rage was on it, and it was like such an awesome moment for me. And I barely missed him. Pete like went up to him when we were about to play and said hi, and I was like, dude, wait for me. And then he left because we had to do the song again or whatever. And then like just when he was going to the elevator to leave, I just walked right up to him and was like, dude, I'm a huge fan. He was like the nicest dude.
That's cool to hear.
And it's
like
so
other
cool
artists,
when you meet guys like that, and they're awesome, you know?
Andy, thank you so much for being on the show.
You.
We've been waiting to get you on for a long time. Enjoy the rest of the games. Thank you for stopping by. Grab a FITAID on your way out, and you guys keep watching. Andy Hurley right here.